All right, and we're going to talk Giants, Daniel Jones with Pete Prisco and Brady Quinn. Literally, we were in the studio. It was like the final seconds, minutes to where the Giants are getting a deal done. Is that something you were expecting? I know earlier JJ said there was a lot of optimism on both sides there to get a deal done. Is that something you were expecting to see from the Giants?
I think I was expecting to see the Giants find a way of keeping Daniel Jones in whatever capacity it was going to take, whether via a long-term deal or placing one of the tags on him, either the exclusive or non-exclusive. So in this case, they get the best of both worlds. They work out a long-term deal with Daniel Jones. They can use the tag for Saquon Barkley. They keep both intact. And the reality is Daniel Jones has been much better when Saquon Barkley's been a part of the equation than when he's not. So I'm sure that was somewhere in the back of the minds there in the front office for the New York Giants. I'm a bit surprised, though, and we'll see, the details of this contract to really know what the commitment is. My guess is probably about the first 2 years of this deal is where the guarantees come in, and then after that, he's under team control, and they can probably move on if they'd like. But after the season he had this past year, I know some folks in the front office there. They're heavily invested in Daniel Jones. They drafted him. They like him. They think he's the right guy for them moving forward, and they feel like he earned this contract. And it's hard to deny that maybe he didn't. The reality is, though, I think there could have been some other options out there for them where there's a higher ceiling. I don't know how Pete feels about this one, but it's a bit surprising when you see some of these contracts going out to guys that I think you still have a lot of question marks out. I think there's still a lot of question marks for Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones should never have a contract that has a 4 as the first number as the average of the deal. Are you kidding me? 40. The first 2 years of the deal, supposedly $82 million, averages $41 million a year for Daniel Jones. He didn't even throw 20 touchdown passes last year. He threw 15. Davis Mills threw 2 more. And yes, I know he did some things with his legs and he showed improvement and they don't have great wide receivers. I get it. But why not tag him for another year at $32 million, let him show you again, and then see what Barkley's market is. If Barkley's market's good, then you lose him and you draft a running back. If it's not that good, you bring him back. Maybe even give him $1 million a year over the number you would normally give him to keep him. That's a lot cheaper than $42 million a year for Daniel Jones. I don't like what the Giants did, and I actually like Daniel Jones. But why not tag him for another year?
I'm with Pete on this. I think it would have been really interesting to see if they used the non-exclusive franchise tag on Daniel Jones to see then what market was out there for him, with any. And they probably would have found themselves paying a long-term deal that's less than this, maybe somewhere closer to what Geno Smith was able to sign with the Seattle Seahawks. But the reality is, it's a lot of money to tie into a guy that, again, I think a year from now, you might be looking back and saying, have we seen the improvement that we needed to see? Is he still our guy? I think there's still going to be some question marks because this roster around the quarterback position isn't ready yet to really explode. Saquon obviously will help keep some playmaking ability there, but I'm with Pete on this. I think there's still a lot of question marks around Daniel Jones and his ability.
Yeah, and with the Giants getting that deal done, obviously they're using their tag on Saquon. And Brady, you mentioned it. Daniel Jones is a lot better with him than he is without him.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you've got a dynamic playmaker like that, where Brian Dable's going to try to use Saquon Barkley in whatever capacity he can. Obviously, a lot of touches running the football, but also too, matched up in the pass game, screen game, all those things. So clearly, you want to keep him a part of it, but Pete and I have been talking about this for a while. If you let him go test the free agent market, he can go see what potential he signs for a long-term deal, so be it. You could replace him in the draft. There's 2 very likely candidates in Bijan Robinson out of Texas, Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama, both of which can do a lot of the same things that Saquon Barkley can do, and he's not going to cost as much against the cap. So the reality is, look, Joe Schoen clearly wants to keep intact this nucleus that they've currently got and roll with the momentum that Brian Dable was able to create his first year as head coach, being the coach of the year, and seeing if the Giants can't continue to keep climbing amongst the NFC East, but they've got their work cut out for them. Obviously, the Eagles, being the NFC defending champs, I think are still a much better roster, much better team, and in a much better spot right now.
By the way, do we have to ping the Giants for not using the 5th-year option? Would have been a lot cheaper. I mean, they would have had a better chance. I mean, so yeah, look, I just don't get this contract for Daniel Jones. It makes no sense to me. As far as bringing Barkley back, a franchise tag makes all the sense in the world for a running back. So from that standpoint, it does give you a little bit of advantage. You don't have to pay him. But again, if you gave Barkley a 3-year deal and win $1 million or $2 million even over what the normal back will get in this class, you're still saving a lot of money if you tag Daniel Jones. I don't like the decision at all by the Giants.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.